Stunning. All right, you just learned how to carve and plate a chicken. Welcome to What to Cook When You Don't Feel Like Cooking headquarters. Today we are doing a demo on how to carve a chicken. This has been an oft requested video because it can be really daunting to carve a chicken if you haven't done it before. You're like, I just did all this work, I roasted this chicken, and I don't wanna mess it up. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how incredibly easy it is. I'm gonna take my rings off because we're gonna get in there. One of my very favorite kitchen brands, Epicurean, is sponsoring this fabulous video. So I would have already been carving my chickens, as I always do. I carve my chickens, my tenderloins, steaks, any meat that is juicy. I always use this specific Epicurean cutting board, the Juice Groove. I will link this. I love this cutting board. All right, I flipped around the camera so that your vantage point is my vantage point. Let's start with the wings, and the wings come off really easy. There's a joint right here that connects the wing and the body, and you just twist and pull. It's a really easy to separate joint. A little, I mean, sometimes you don't even have to twist because it just wants to fall right out. The one thing that you just kind of want to be careful of is that we want each person to get a nice piece of skin, and the skin loves to try to run away from us. So we're carving, and we want to get this thigh, which is kind of underneath here, off in one piece without peeling that skin off. So that's what we're just kind of being careful of here. Perfect. And again, that pretty much just pulls off. You might need to use your knife a little bit, but probably not. Beautiful drumsticks with the thigh, ready to go, okay? So those two pieces like that. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to separate the drumstick from the thigh. So there's a joint right here, and we're just gonna use our knife to carve along, and we're gonna find that joint and cut through it. Okay, if your knife is meeting a ton of knife on bone resistance, you're not in the right place. Just kind of wiggle your knife around until you find a nice joint. It's this. And you can kind of trim that off if you want to. And then again, we're just kind of making sure that that skin stays in place. So each person has a nice piece. Okay, so let's do that again. We're separating the drumstick from the thigh. So we're going in with our knife. We're just being a little bit tender to make sure that skin really doesn't separate. All right, so here I have a better one. Last piece it really wanted to separate on its own. Here I'm hitting knife, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna kind of look in here, and then finding that breaking point, that natural place where the joint can pull apart. And I've got this beautiful skin. It tried to rip on me, but I'll piece it back together. Do not like a bone-in breast display. I like to do this. Finding the breastbone, so I'm gonna cut kind of straight down the center to find that breastbone. Peel this back a bit. All right, where's the breastbone? There it is, right in the dead center. So now I'm taking my knife and I'm just making some swipes. Swipe to separate the chicken from that breastbone. Okay, I'm just swiping, doing kind of shallow cuts, and then I take my fingers and start to peel that away and just make a nice cut. Okay, so this is a boneless cooked chicken breast, ready to go. And you'll always have a few little pieces of chicken in here, and that's your chef snack, or that's, you know, you're saving that with the leftovers, or you're just putting that on the platter because you're serving your family, and who cares? We're doing the same thing, but reversed. And it's hard if you're, you know, when you're doing it with your opposite hand, it's a little tricky, but I believe. So you're kind of just peeling and swiping and peeling and swiping away with your knife and kind of using your knife to push. And you can see we've got a little bit of chicken left on that carcass. We'll get to that in a second. And we've got a beautiful, cut that piece away. that piece away. We've got a beautiful breast. 2 breasts. So you can plate these whole. If you know that somebody in your family is gonna eat the whole thing, you could cut them in half. And I just think it looks really beautiful. You have to, again, just be kind of diligent to get a nice piece of skin on each one, is go straight down. So I made that one too big, but they're probably 1/2 inch slices. And then everybody can grab as much as they want versus being like, oh, I have to commit to the whole breast. So then I'm just gonna scoop it up with my knife. Take it over here. Whoops, don't fall apart on me. Scoop it up and plate it here. And I like to cut the cheeks. Cut the cheeks off. Cheeks, cheeks. This is all around it. Let's do 2 nice bunches, and we're gonna kind of tuck that there. That fell apart on me, but you get the drift. Like, I like these big pieces versus like a lone sprig, and versus chopped and sprinkled. So right there, scooch that over. And like, how stunning. You bring that out to the table, even if you just bought a rotisserie chicken, stunning. All right, you just learned how to carve and plate a chicken.